Okay, I wasn't gonna say nothing, but I am because I feel like I need to get these things out. So, um, hey, shout out to Snapple for bringing back fire, the rain, the wind. Appreciate that. But I digress. So, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but defensive coordinator Jack Delrio made some comments because the hearings are going on right now, the congressional hearings about the January 6th insurrection. And his comments were he called it a dust up. He didn't call it an insurrection. He didn't call it anything dangerous. He called it a dust up. And then he said, but you'll investigate this and have hearings for this, but you won't investigate the riots that happened after George Floyd was killed. And what I realize is there's a lot of people who feel like that. A lot of people who are like, I don't see the difference. Let me break down the difference for you real quick. Really, really quick. In the riots, Circle K, Kmart, I don't know, a Walmart or a Target, I don't know. But these places were destroyed. I'm not sure who they were or which buildings exactly were, but they were destroyed. Which is horrible. Don't get me wrong. I'm not glossing over that like that's an okay thing. That's not okay. That's not okay. But let's look at what happened on the other side that you called a dust up. 5 people died that day. 5 people woke up that morning, started their journey, having no idea it was going to end that day. And the reason why it ended is because people were upset at the results of the election. I see the comparison. You say, well, these people are upset for reasons and these people are upset for reasons, so you see it as the same. Let me tell you why it's not. The U.S. Capitol building, the Pentagon, the United States White House are symbols of power of this country. They should have the highest levels of security of any building in the country, because they hold the most influential individuals that we have elected and appointed to office. The whole way our country works is because of these people that we're supposedly voting for, they're supposedly running the country. They're all in those 3 buildings. You ran in there, ran them out. It's your house. Technically, legally, you should be able to go in. I'm pretty sure there's procedures. You got to do a background check and stuff like that. But it's your building. So you technically, if you follow the right process, can go in. You're able to go in. But your presence ran them out because they were afraid and terrified. And you damaged stuff. You didn't just walk in and say, hey, I want to talk to y'all. You damaged stuff. People were injured. People were wounded. You were shouting things like, kill Nancy Pelosi and like insane stuff. So the fact that Mr. Delrio thinks that an attack on an American symbol of power is the same as an inner city riot, you're going to have a hard time convincing me of that. But that's not even the big deal. I've listened to some people debate this topic back and forth for the last couple of days. And what I realize is there's something that's being grossly missed. Let's talk about the NFL. Okay? NFL. Right now being sued by a former black head coach who now coaches for my team, by the way. who said, you guys are racist with your process. You're not giving us a fair chance. You're not giving minorities an opportunity to actually legitimately become head coaches. They're in the middle of this lawsuit right now. So let me connect a few dots for you. John Gruden, former head coach of the Las Vegas / Oakland Raiders, because he was with them in Oakland and then they moved to Vegas, right? Got fired this past season because he was caught making homophobic, sexist, and racist comments in a conversation with Dan Snyder, owner of the Washington Commanders. Okay? Before John Gruden, who just got fired for doing this kind of stuff, this is who the Raiders hired. Okay? Who did he replace? Jack Del Rio, who has made it clear what his opinion is, right? Where does Jack Del Rio coach now? The Washington Commanders, Daniel Snyder. The NFL has a serious problem because you have two glaring evidentiary facts that you have two owners that, although they could say, I'm not racist, I'm not homophobic, I'm not sexist, I'm not any of these things, they clearly endorse them by hiring people who do think these things. This is a major problem in your lawsuit, NFL. And Roger Goodell, whoever you got working for you, they should be up right now trying to figure out a way to negotiate a settlement. Because if this actually hits a courtroom, your days of being first is over. Two facts. You have an owner in Las Vegas that owns the Raiders that hired Jack Del Rio and John Gruden. And you can't tell me he did not know, because the NFL is a boys' club. These motherfuckers talk. They know who's who. And you hired him anyway. Washington Commanders owner, you having a full-blown out, you are so funny, John Gruden conversation while he's dogging folk in an email when he worked for the NFL. You having a full-blown conversation with this dude. It's amazing. And then Jack Del Rio gets fired. Who hires him? You. And I don't blame you. He's a great defensive mind. He's a great head coach. But I'm saying that is a glaring point against you guys in this lawsuit. Because you clearly are willing to endorse people who think like this, which means that's your type. That's your type. Your type isn't people who think the opposite. Your type are people. And I know there's going to be some people that probably watch this and say, but they hired Ron Rivera. He's a minority. Well, the Raiders once hired Art Shell twice. Fired him twice. Just because you hire them doesn't mean you're solving the problem. It's about the glaring facts that show that you have one. That's what I'm talking about. The NFL can no longer say, prove that we're racist. Prove that we're unfair. Because if there's one example, there are more. And these are two examples. But people are saying, man, they should fire Jack Del Rio. Jack Del Rio should quit. I heard the president of NAACP issued a statement. He should resign. I'm not with this cancel culture stuff. Jack Del Rio's a man who said how he felt. I don't agree with him. But he said how he felt. So I can't do nothing but respect that. It's the cats that smile in your face and saying stuff behind your back I got a problem with. Not the Jack Del Rios. I don't got a problem. So I don't need him to quit. Because personally, my eyes is not on him as the coach. My eyes is on those black players that's walking in that defensive meeting room. Those black players that might have, they might still live with their parents, and their parents might be black or mixed or whatever. Wife might be black. Kids are black. And now their kids are having to answer questions at school because of what your coach said, or their wife is answering questions at the grocery store because of what your coach said. And now these dudes have to walk into this meeting room and make business decisions every day. That's what I'm looking at. How long before a couple of guys for the Washington Commanders say, you know what, screw this, I can't play here? I'm looking for breaking news, such and such player for the Washington Commanders demands a trade. Because, see, it's not the people that need to get, the misogynists and the racists and all of them to step down. That's not what it is. It's the people that are sitting in the seats to be able to affect their pockets that need to say something. And if these players are cool with walking in the locker room with this man being your coach, being able to follow him, follow his leadership, follow his ability to analyze you, knowing that that's what he could possibly be thinking about you just because of the way you look or the color of your skin, then God bless you. And I'm not even mad, because you know what? Unfortunately, black folk have to make them kind of decisions every day. You are forced to listen to rhetoric that you don't agree with because you got to feed your family. So I'm not mad at you, but I am watching. And Mr. Delrio, I appreciate your honesty, and I would love to break it down for you how it's different.